Greetings, Paul Deeds here. In 60 years of driving, about 60 years of driving, I've had a few cars. I was born and raised in Detroit, the Motor City. I decided to make a list and see if I could remember all of them. And I put it together and decided to do a video. Now, some of the pictures that I've got here of the cars are not the actual cars I own, but pictures that I found on the internet and whatnot. I don't have, unfortunately, pictures of all of my cars, and some of them I do have pictures of, but heaven only knows where they might be. So I put together a quick assemblage of the cars that I've owned in the past 60 years. The pictures that I did find are very close to the cars that I did own. So there's that. It was the best I could do with the resources that I have and the time that I have. So I hope you enjoy it. I do a little narration of each car, so enjoy. Here we have the 1950 Ford, my first car. Notable thing about this one is the right quarter panel was flapping in the breeze and the driver's door was tied shut because the hinges had rusted out. I inherited it from my brother and learned to drive a stick shift on this car. 1959 Ford, my second car, a real grocery getter. It was a four-door, and my dad bought it because it didn't have any rust. It didn't run very well, and the oil light was always coming on, but it looked pretty decent. So there's that. And I had it when I was in high school, so I was a happy clam. 1961 Austin Healey Sprite Mark II. I bought this one from my brother when he upgraded. I remember my grandfather coming home in this car and knocking his pipe out on the pavement, sitting down in the car. It's at that low. 1967 Volkswagen Beetle. It was the last year that they had the tubular bumpers. This was my first new car. I bought this one when I started college. When college didn't work out, I joined the Navy, and I was stationed in Vietnam for a while and then went to Spain from there. This one, the Opel Record, I bought when I was in Spain to drive around the base. 1971 Fiat Spider. Bought this one in Spain. Bought it new at a Spanish dealership and ended up having it shipped home to Charleston, South Carolina when I was discharged. And my brother and I ended up driving down to Charleston from Michigan to pick it up and drove it home. 1970 Ford Mustang, yellow with black vinyl top. I was styling. This was the first car I had that had air conditioning. Ah, yes, 1959 Corvette. I've always said that everybody should own a Corvette once in their life, and this one was mine. There was a time when this was the only car I had, so I drove it all the time. When I was photographing weddings, I would drive it to weddings. I even drove it in the winter, much to the dismay of Corvette enthusiasts. 1965 Chevy van. I bought this one for $150 from, I think it was a cement contractor. It ran great. It looked horrible, but it ran like a champ. 1970 Ford Maverick. Bought this one from a dear friend. The car's name is Fred. Not named by me, named by the friend. 1972 Dodge pickup truck, my first of many pickup trucks. 1974 Mustang II. Never really considered the Mustang II a Mustang, to be perfectly honest. And another 1970 Ford Maverick. This one, the picture of this one looks much better than the one I had. The one I had was a rust bucket, to say the least. 1980 Ford pickup truck. Nothing too particular about this one. Nothing striking about this one. 1985 Ford pickup truck. Unfortunately, I didn't have very good luck with this one, and this was the last Ford pickup truck that I owned. 1968 Triumph Spitfire. Bought this one on a fluke from a girl at work. And I remember her father told me, if you have any problems with it, I don't want to hear about it. Figured out why. 1984 Pontiac 6000 STE. This was a luxury edition at the time. It had all the bells and whistles. 1988 Chevrolet pickup truck. This was the Sierra model, and this was my dream truck. 5-speed on the floor. Last manual transmission pickup truck I got. After that, it was harder to come by the manual transmissions. 1989 Toyota Tercel. I bought this one mostly to drive back and forth to work. It was an economy car. And I had a huge moonroof put in it that took up most of the roof. 1992 Oldsmobile Achieva I think this was the first year that the Achieva came out, and it had the quad 4 engine in it that was a screamer for a 4-cylinder engine. I really enjoyed this car. I bought the 5-speed. 1995 Jeep Wrangler Rio Grande. I bought this one when I knew I was moving up to the UP in Michigan and I knew I need 4-wheel drive. 1999 Chevy Lumina. This one I bought used when I knew that I was going to be leaving the UP and didn't need the Jeep anymore. 2004 Chevy Z85 4-wheel drive pickup truck. 1997 Jeep Wrangler soft top, half doors. Bought this one on a whim. I like the graphics on it. 2005 Chevy Malibu. This was not a super sport. 2010 Dodge Caravan. Don't knock the minivans. This was a great vehicle. I got this one when I was tending to my parents, and it had a perfect spot in the back for a wheelchair. So I traded in the Jeep, for a minivan. I caught some grief for that from my friends. 2011 Ford pickup truck. I know I said it was my last Ford pickup truck a little bit ago, but I was mistaken. This was my last Ford pickup truck because this one didn't make me very happy either. 2015 Chevy Silverado pickup truck. This was the dream truck. I loved this truck. It had the bells and whistles I needed, 4-wheel drive, great truck. 2013 Jeep Wrangler soft top. Still have this one. We bought this one when we decided that we probably were not going to go to a trike when we couldn't ride our motorcycles anymore and that we'd make do with a Jeep. So this is why we got this one. We have some fun with it. 2021 Dodge Charger. This is Kathy's car. It's our car, but it's Kathy's car. You know what I'm saying. This is a great car, too. We still have this one. It's a lot of fun to drive. Well, that was kind of a fun trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed it with me. It was a lot longer story with most of those vehicles, but I didn't want this video to be too long, so maybe I'll do an in-depth on the other ones. Thanks for coming by. Peace out.